And welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Wa2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. For the first time in, it feels since like Easter weekend, the New York Jets have won a football game. They beat the Houston Texans in a standalone game. Second straight year they've beaten Houston 21-13. Keeping their season kind of alive as they improve their record to 3-6 for the season. Cayenne water for everybody, right? So we are here to recap the game, and as we go through it, I'm going to take you through the 3 key plays you may not remember that affected the outcome of the game. So I went out to a local place called Woody's in North Carolina. Just about everybody was watching hockey over there as the Hurricanes they were blowing out the Bruins, but I had to basically beg for one TV to get flipped to the Jets game, for crying out loud. Had no volume, but that's okay. It was Al Michaels. It's not as if I was missing anything. You know, Bob Costas, bite of that old geezer, he could take a hike. Al Michaels might want to as well. So, but at least Al keeps his personal opinions to himself, unlike Bob Costas. Go screw you. Okay. But anyway, I thought it was right off I had a bad omen. When Quinnen Williams went offside on the second snap of the game, I'm like, oh, gosh, here we go. And then Tank Dell, who was absolutely – his performance is going to get very overlooked because Houston lost the game and because there was a wide receiver for the Jets who stood out even more. But Tank Dell was an amazing player in this game. But the first down he catches, he does this, little finger guns. Remember a couple weeks ago when Alan Lazard did that and the Jets got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty? Very keen observation by Connor Hughes to point that out. I guess it's okay for Tank Dell, or maybe the NFL had a come to Jesus moment and said, you know what, you can do that now. At least this week you can. Anyway, so let's talk about the first key play of the game. So Houston, this is pretty early on in the first quarter. So Houston starts this drive on their own 47 after Thomas Morstead, who, by the way, may have been the MVP of the first half for the Jets in this game. They had that 75-yard punt at one point. But Morstead punts from his own end zone, and Houston starting on their own 47. And the Jets stop Houston, forcing them to settle for a punt. But oh no, on the punt, Irv Charles commits one of several just horrific decisions that the special teams unit would commit to this night. Oh my gosh. So he roughs the punter up. The Texans get a fresh set of downs. They start in the red zone. So with 7:38 to go in the first quarter, it's 2nd and 11. And Quinnen Williams gets in. Michael Clemens gets in. Clemens gets credit for the sack, knocks the ball loose from C.J. Stroud, and it goes straight to willmcdonald, who just has to fall on it, and he does. The Jets have had only 6 takeaways in their first 8 games. This one was number 7, and it was big. Yes, Houston would go on to score the first touchdown of the game, but the defense made a big play when it needed to. And a little bit later, I got to say something about Malachi Corley. Let's just go right to that. Oh, my gosh. Just, I have been begging the drum for Corley to get more opportunities. I've been saying, what does Xavier Gibson give you on offense that Malachi Corley doesn't? Well, I'm pretty sure Gibson at least takes the ball all the way into the end zone. But look, it's a learning curve. It's only, I think, the second time he's touched the ball in the NFL. He got excited. You know what? He just lapse in concentration, whatever you want to call it. But what I got to shout down right now are the Jet fans who are saying, where's the accountability? You said you were going to keep the players accountable. You got to bench Corley. You got to sit Corley's ass on the bench. No, this is not a veteran who's been around 10 years and has a long history. This is a rookie. You got to develop him. You got to build his confidence. He's been waiting too long to get back in. Do you want that play, that mistake to be his lasting memory of what's on his mind? No. You put his ass back in the game and you give him the opportunity to redeem himself. That's my opinion. I barely saw Corley the rest of the game. It'll be interesting to see if Corley actually did have any snaps the rest of the game. But after that mistake, when the Jets should have had the 7-0 lead, they didn't. After that, their offense went into the absolute dumper for the rest of the first half. 3 drives, 3 plays, 4 plays, 3 plays. That was it. Meanwhile, Houston, which, by the way, right after that 75-yard punt by Morstead, they go on a 14-play, 98-yard drive that took up 8.5 minutes off the clock, and they take the 7-0 lead. And, man, I was feeling sick at that point. It's like, the Jets have been playing sloppy ball. Yes, Houston's only up by 1 score, but the Jets, again, just look so out of whack that can they really do this? I mean, the offense looks like garbage. The defense is doing what they can to keep them in the game, but you can't do it forever. Even though Houston's missing Stephon Diggs, even though Houston is missing Nico Collins still, the running game was just gashing the Jets. Houston came out early in the first half. They're throwing the ball all over the place. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Bobby Slowick, what are you doing? Run the ball on the Jets. The Jets could barely stop me running the ball. I'm always semi-kidding, at least if I had foam rubber all around me. Anyway, second play of the game. We're going to stay in the first half here. So Houston has the ball again. It's late in the first half. There's 43 seconds left after a big play to Tank Dell. And it's third down, 33 seconds are left after 2 incomplete passes. Houston's not in the red zone, but they got the ball in field goal range at this point. Solomon Thomas, who has not had a good year in my mind at all, comes through with a sack, loss of 4. And Stroud got banged up at that point. He'd return, but that sort of changed the feel that Houston wasn't feeling quite so invisible. Fairbairn, oh my gosh, he missed the first field goal. He missed it wide. It was a 56-yard field goal. It missed. Jets had a chance to go down the field and maybe put some points on the board. Did not happen. Davanteadams with a drop as he's diving for the ball. Aaron Rodgers put the ball right where he wanted to. And I got to say, I was really aggravated with some of the people criticizing Aaron Rodgers. Put Tyrod Taylor in. Put Taylor in. This guy's toast. He's washed. All these other ridiculous comments. I'm just like, it was just annoying because I know Rodgers is beat up. He has not shown the willingness to throw the deep ball, at least not up until that point he hadn't. But yeah, I didn't feel like Rodgers was playing all that bad. It was just, the offensive linemen were getting beat up. Jets on their third string guard, and eventually who was coming in at guard? Simpson, who's been fantastic. He goes down as well. They put in Max Mitchell at left guard and Olu Fashanu at right guard. So the Jets are down, 3 guards at this point? Basically, you had 4 tackles in the game along with the center. That's what was going on. But the end of the first half felt dark. Sell the team was being chanted. And even though the Jets have been horrible, I'm like, they're only down a touchdown here at halftime. Let's see what happens. But the first half stats were dreadful. First downs, Houston with 12, Jets with 5. Total yards, check this out. Houston 201, the Jets 69. There's that number again. Houston, time of possession, 20 minutes, 33 seconds. The Jets 9:27. Jets, I think they had 3 sacks and 1 first down in the first quarter alone. Just crazy. So then the second half starts. Garrett makes just that beautiful one-handed catch for the first touchdown on that first drive. Smooth running, great focus, awesome body control to elude the secondary. Little did we know that was the app for the main course. Houston comes back with a field goal. Jets are now down 10-7. One note, the Jets this year had not scored multiple touchdowns in a quarter yet this season, and that was about to change. That takes us to the third play you may not remember, the first play of the fourth quarter. It's 4th and 1 at the Houston 22. And the Jets go for it. Rodgers with a pass to Mike Williams, who barely had any impact again, but with Alan Lazard out for the next month, Williams is going to be on the field. But Derek Stingley, who I'd like to remind you, Houston drafted ahead of Sauce Gardner, illegal contact. 5-yard penalty. The drive extends. 4 plays later, it's 3rd and 19, and the Garrett Wilson touchdown. I don't even need to describe it. Pretty much everybody has seen it at this point. His silhouette looked like Michael Jordan, like the Michael Jordan logo, and that's why I had to make it the cover of the YouTube video, the thumbnail of this YouTube video. How he maintained control of the ball, kept it off the ground, got his shin down inbounds before his knee. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how I could do that. I have absolutely no idea. And even more amazing, The call on the field was an incomplete pass. Wilson made it look so smooth and so convincing that they had to overturn it and make it a touchdown. Truly a special play. Jets back on top 14-10. But I also want to highlight the drive. Yeah, I've given you the 3 plays, but we gotta emphasize the drive as well. This is when Houston has the ball. Another long pass to Tank Dell, and I'm really just giving some praise to the defense here because they deserve it. Another long pass to Dell, drive stalls. Fairbairn makes a 43-yard field goal, but oh no, Eric Watts penalty. He's on special teams. He hits the snapper, which you cannot do. Another rookie mistake. 15 yards, and it's a fresh set of downs. I think it was half the distance to the goal is what it was. I'm pretty sure. So now it's 1st and 10 at the Jets 12 with 8:19 to go in the fourth quarter. Mixon runs off, left tackle to the Jets 9, gets 3 yards. Jarris Monroe and Jalen Mills make the tackle. 2nd and 7 from the Jets 9. Runs left guard to the Jets 9. No gain. Jalen Mills with a big-time stop. That creates a 3rd and 7 at the Jets' 9-yard line. And Stroud, C.J. Stroud has not been the same quarterback this year. I know it hurts a lot that Collins is out and that Diggs is out, but he just hasn't been the same. He passes in the direction of John Mechie. He overthrows him. The ball is just too far out in front. And then comes the field goal attempt from 27. And Fairbairn he Zerlined it is what he did. What else can I tell you? He Zerlined it. He doinked it off the left upright, and then the Jets take it right down the field. 8 plays, 80 yards, under 4 minutes. Davanteadams, who had to come back in this game after passing concussion protocol, just like DJ Reed did as well. I mean, the injuries were insane in this game. Sauce, DJ, Davante, Simpson, Hanson. I mean, it was just nuts. But Adams gets a step, 40-yard touchdown, 21-10, and it was basically done. Yes, Houston came down to make the field goal, but Adams also recovers the onside kick. That was it. Couple stats, couple notes on this game. In the second half, the Jets had 4 drives on offense. These were the results of those 4 drives. Touchdown, 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 victory formation. When was the last time that happened? Where the Jets had a touchdown on every drive, sans for the last one when they were kneeling down to end the game. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And again, credit to that offensive line, credit to Max Mitchell and Olu Fashanu for filling in at guard when they were needed. Some final game stats. Aaron Rodgers, 22 for 32, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns, super efficient game. A couple throws off here and there. Breece Hall with a bad drop at one point, but I thought Rodgers just looked amazing in the second half. Davanteadams, 7. And by the way, Rodgers also had a very nice run, 13-yard run that was wiped out by a Fashanu penalty. So he was able to run a little bit. Davanteadams, 7 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 9 catches for 90 yards and 2 absolutely beautiful touchdowns. Breece Hall, 15 rushes for 74 yards. He did have a fumble, which he recovered and dropped the pass. He has not been quite the same player we have wanted him to be. Maybe the Jets, the next person they should bring in is Tom Coughlin to teach Breece how to hold on to the ball. Same way he did Tiki Barber. The Jets were in the red zone 3 times, converted touchdowns twice. The defense, it was a very mixed night for the defense, I thought. They had 8 sacks on C.J. Stroud, 2 each for Michael Clemens and Jamian Sherwood. Will McDonald, 9 pressures on 33 rushes, and 6 of those 9 pressures came against Laramie Tunsil, acknowledged as one of the best left tackles in all of the NFL. Haason Reddick, 8 pressures on 32 rushes. You're seeing the tag team that God knows, if only we could have seen this earlier. And imagine if we had McDonald, Reddick, and Jermaine Johnson all at the same time. Oh, it would have been beautiful. But the run game was it was disastrous. 183 rushing yards allowed. I knew it was going to be a problem stopping Joe Mixon, and it was. And the Texans actually had 2 more runs that went a long way that were wiped out by penalties as well. Let us not forget that also. So the run defense, yeah, big problem. Lucky Fotu, tough loss. DJ Mosley, that hurts there as well. Special teams, Riley Patterson made his 3 extra points. One was doink, but it went through. And Xavier Gibson. Doesn't he drive you nuts? This guy, he does not know when to fair catch versus return. super frustrating. I mean, last week against New England, he had a pretty good game. This week, I didn't think he was good at all. At least he didn't fumble. But the penalties remain an issue. The Jets had 9 penalties in this game for 83 yards. Still needs to be cleaned up. And a lot of special teams penalties, which is just even more amazing. Now, couple notes. So the 5-game losing streak is now history. I think it was 5. Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5. That's right. And now this team gets to get a little bit of extra rest, which they sorely need, especially in the offensive line and the secondary, and I guess the defensive line and the quarterback room as well. So 2 games coming up before the bye at Arizona, and they've got an up-and-coming offense, very vulnerable defense, and then they're home to Indianapolis and likely Joe Flacco before the bye. A little bit worried about Jonathan Taylor in that game, so that run defense is really going to have to up their game a little bit. Jets need both games if they're going to have any kind of a season. There's no way around it. I think the Jets, if they want to have a shot at a wild card, they could afford one more loss. That's about it. You can get in at 10-7 if you have a couple of tiebreakers. You're not getting in at 9-8, I don't think. But hey, win is a win. It feels good. I'm not ready to say this team's all the way back. I got to see a couple more wins before I feel fully invested and thinking maybe there's a chance here. Let's hope for some good news with the injuries, because right now we got a lot of beat-up players. But you know what, Jet fans? Enjoy pretty much a stress-free Sunday of football, unless you wagered on something. If so, that's on you. But do whatever you got to do, but you won't have the Jets stressing you out on Sunday, and that's a good thing. All right, everybody, that will finish my wrap-up of this game tonight against Houston. Everybody have a fantastic day, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you-know-where, the Wicker Chair.